10th class NCRT English poem The Trees, written by Adrian Rich. Adrian Rich was born in Baltimore, Maryland, USA in 1929. She is the author of 20 volumes of poetry and she has been a famous feminist. Okay, students, let us see the poem The Trees. The trees inside are moving out into the forest. The forest that was empty all these days, where no bird could sit, no insect hide, no sun bury its feet in shadow. The forest was empty all these nights, will be full of trees by morning. The speaker of the poem observes that the trees in his house are moving outside into the forest, which has been empty for a long time. It is important to understand that the trees are not actually moving, but it has been used as an imagery by the poet to show the destroyed forests and false nature that humans have tried to keep them in their houses. Since the forest outside was empty, no birds could sit on the branches of trees. No insects could hide in the trees, and sunlight could never disappear under the shadows of the trees. The speaker feels that the empty forest will be full of trees by the next morning. So, here in this stanza, that the conflict between man and nature completely described, well described. You see the stanza, first stanza, line-wise explanation. The trees inside. Where are the trees? The trees are inside the poet's house and they are going or moving out into the forest. The forest that was empty all these days. So it was empty outside. Outside the house that was all around empty. Why? Because all the trees, plants, bushes, creepers that are brought to the house in the cities, okay, and it was empty there outside. So all these trees, plants, bushes, shrubs, creepers, okay, are trying to move away from the place where they have been, okay, out into the forest. The forest that was empty all these days, where no bird could sit, no insect hide, no sun bury its feet in a shadow. So, what are the three things that cannot happen in a treeless forest? Since the forest was empty, no birds could sit on the branches, no insects hide in the bushes, and no sun could bury its feet in shadow of the trees. Okay, why could this situation take place? The situation took place because of man's unwise decision. Man has brought all these trees, plants, creepers, shrubs, into his house for his house decoration, ornamental beauty. He wanted to give ornamental beauty by using these plants, shrubs, and trees inside the house. Okay, so this was really a worrying factor. Man has intentionally done a lot of damage to the ecology that he has been living in. Okay, so this is not supposed to be happen. The poet, okay, feels about that man should be wise of living these plants and trees live in their original places, right places. Okay, they grow in the forest in their own way, natural way. They have lot of liberty, because trees, if trees are cut down, okay, and are used for making house commodities, okay, so that forest could be empty. So, if the forest was empty, that there were three things could not take place. The rightly that has been rightly okay, communicated in this. Let us see the poems, poetic devices. Okay, the first stanza. What are the poetic devices used? Okay, what is the rhyming scheme of the poem? Let us learn about these things. Okay, right. The trees. Okay, has a lot of poetic devices. Lot of poetic devices. Alliteration, simile, symbolism, okay, and personification, okay, metaphor, okay, anaphora, okay, a lot of poetic devices are used to give poetic effect to the poem, okay, right. So the first, let us see the poetic devices that are used in the first stanza, okay, and before that we shall look at the rhyming scheme. See the stanza, when you have a look at it, it does not have any rhyming at the end, does not have any rhyming, okay. So this entire poem has written in no rhyming scheme, okay. No rhyming scheme is observed here. That is written in only blank verse or free verse style, okay, right. So that is what about the rhyming scheme. I already made you know how to okay, draw rhyming scheme of a stanza. I already made you know. Okay, right. So what are the poetic devices that are used in this first? Let us see the poetic devices of this stanza in the poem "The Trees." Okay, the poetic devices that are used in this stanza one are anaphora, symbolism, metaphor, and enjambment. Okay, enjambment is clearly observed here that these sentences do not have any pause at the end of line. Okay, so it is said to be enjambment. Okay, next anaphora. We can say that anaphora in these two lines: no insect hide, no sun bury its feet. These two sentences, the first part of these two sentences, okay, are a deliberate use of the repetition, okay, and to in order to achieve the artistic effect in the poem, okay, it is said to be anaphora. Okay, in the same sentence you can see this word used, feet, is perfectly used in symbolism. Okay, so symbolism is observed here. Sun's feet is nothing but sun's rays. Okay, right. Metaphor, of course, we have learned that metaphor, the complete poem has been used in metaphor. Okay, right. See here, free verse style and blank verse style. Enjambment is used in free verse style. Okay, free verse style and blank verse styles are free from rhyming scheme. Okay, both are free from rhyming scheme, but these two are different from one point of view, that blank verse does have rhyming, does have meter, whereas free verse does not have any meter for it. Okay, so it is about the free verse style, blank verse style. Okay, no rhyming scheme for this the poem Trees. Okay, and we have discussed the different poetic devices for this stanza. Okay, thank you children. Next video follows.